Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the invisible digital threats lurking across the modern internet and, more importantly, exactly how we can protect ourselves. So let's just jump right in with the story. 0. That's the exact balance a guy named Mark saw one Tuesday morning. Mark's 34, stable job, loving family, perfectly normal life. He wakes up, makes his coffee, checks his bank app, and nothing. His savings, his salary, his daughter's college fund, literally every single dollar was just gone, transferred out overnight to accounts he'd never even heard of in countries he's never been to. The bank? They confirmed it was done legally, using his exact credentials. And the crazy thing is, Mark didn't lose his wallet. He wasn't robbed. He never even left his house. He was attacked in his sleep by someone sipping tea thousands of miles away. And honestly, the scariest part about all this, the attacker just needed one tiny, entirely invisible mistake that Mark made, without even realizing it. So I've got to ask, what if that mistake was something you did this morning? I really want you to sit with that question for our entire journey today, because this happens to ordinary people every single day. By the end of this explainer, I promise you're never going to look at your phone, your laptop, or your passwords the exact same way again.
All right, part 1, the worlds you can't see.
Think of the internet like a massive ocean. What most of us use every day, Google, YouTube, Instagram, that's just the sunlit surface. It's safe, it's familiar. But beneath that surface, man, the ocean goes incredibly deep. Down in those depths, stolen credit card numbers are literally being sold for $2 a pop. Hacked email accounts are treated in bulk. Your personal data, medical histories, home addresses, they're all auctioned off like everyday products. And the people running these black markets, they're not the supervillains you see in the movies. They're ordinary-looking people. Sometimes they're just teenagers sitting in a local coffee shop. And the only thing standing between you and them is cybersecurity. It's the lock on the door of your digital home. Part 2, how attacks actually happen. So there's this really stark contrast between what we see in the movies and what happens in real life. We all imagine this dramatic green code cascading down a black screen with alarm systems blaring in the background. But the mundane, absolutely terrifying reality, most cyber attacks don't break through your defenses. They don't have to. They just walk right through the front door because, well, you literally held it open for them. And that brings us to the #1 method they use, phishing. See, this doesn't attack your computer, it attacks your mind. You get an email, looks exactly like it's from your bank, same colors, same logo, the whole shebang. It says there's a huge problem and you need to click a link immediately. You panic a little, you click, you type in your username and password on a fake site, and boom. In 30 seconds, it's over. And look, it works on incredibly smart, highly educated people, simply because it creates this false sense of panic. But phishing is really just the beginning. Enter malware. This is hidden software that sneaks in through a seemingly harmless email attachment or, say, a free app you downloaded. Once it's inside, it can secretly record your passwords or even access your camera without that little indicator light ever turning on. And a truly devastating variation of this is ransomware. This encrypts your files and demands a massive payment to unlock them. This exact type of attack has literally locked major hospital systems completely out of patient records, forcing surgeries to be canceled and putting real lives at risk. So, the crucial point here is this. Despite all of our super advanced firewalls, human beings are almost always the primary vulnerability. Think about this. The most common password in the world in 2026 is still 123456. No way, right? But it is. Hackers use automated programs that run through millions of combinations a second, so that takes them zero effort. Or consider social engineering. This is where an attacker calls you up, sounds incredibly official, like an authority figure from Microsoft or the government, and just straight up asks for your info. And people give it to them. Why? Because the attackers manipulated their psychology. Moving on to part 3, the global cybercrime epidemic. 39 seconds. That is the sheer, mind-boggling frequency of these threats. Not every hour, not every minute. A cyber attack occurs somewhere in the world every 39 seconds. It is absolutely relentless. And just look at the financial impact. $8 trillion. That is what cybercrime cost the global economy in 2025 alone. To put that massive number into perspective, that's more than the GDP of every single country in the world except the United States and China. It dwarfs massive nations like Japan, Germany, and the UK. We're talking about a global shipping company losing $300 million in a single attack that spread in a matter of hours. 3 billion people. Almost half of the entire human population had their personal data stolen or exposed in just the last 2 years. I mean, if entire government agencies with multi-million-dollar security budgets are getting compromised, what does that mean for you sitting at home with a 5-year-old router? But hey, don't worry, we aren't here just to scare you. We're here to wake you up and get you protected.
Which brings us to part 4, building your digital defenses.
To really easily understand how to protect yourself, let's break cybersecurity down and compare it to the security system of a normal house. Okay, so your passwords, those are the locks on the doors. Antivirus software is your alarm system, screaming when something's wrong. Your own personal awareness is the peephole, checking to see if that email actually feels right before you open the door. Encryption is the heavy, fireproof safe inside the house for your most valuable stuff. And data backups, that's your insurance policy. So even if the absolute worst happens, you can recover completely.
All right, part 5, 5 steps to protect yourself.
Listen, if you follow these 5 simple, totally non-technical habits, you'll take back control of your digital safety in under 5 minutes. First, use strong, unique passwords for every single account. Just use a password manager so you only have to remember one master lock. Second, turn on two-factor authentication everywhere. It's literally just one extra step, and it blocks the vast majority of attacks. Third, think before clicking. Does that sender's address look right? Is there this weird, unusual urgency? If it feels off at all, just go directly to the website yourself. Fourth, update your software immediately when asked. Ignoring those updates is basically like leaving a broken lock on your front door. And fifth, back up your data to an external drive and the cloud. If ransomware hits you, you just restore your files and walk away without paying a single cent.
And finally, part 6, the bigger cybersecurity picture.
Because here's the thing, cybersecurity is no longer just a personal issue. It's a full-blown national security imperative. Everything is connected now. Your doorbell, your thermostat, your smart car. But it goes way, way beyond that, straight to our power grids, our water systems, and our hospital networks. The next major global conflict between world powers, it might not be fought with tanks and missiles. It could very well be fought with lines of code, targeting the very infrastructure we literally rely on to survive.
Remember Mark? He lost everything. Not because he was particularly careless, but because nobody ever showed him the invisible world operating right beneath his screen. Well, now you know. The best cybersecurity isn't just a piece of software you buy, it's knowledge. So are you treating your digital life with the exact same care as your physical life? The moment you truly understand how these attacks work, you instantly stop being an easy target. Take 5 minutes today, change those habits, and secure your digital home. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and stay safe out there.